you for being here today. My name is Harriet Jackson. I am the coordinator for the City of Pittsburgh Safe Routes to School program. We are excited to announce this great program for the children, families, schools, and communities in the City of Pittsburgh. Safe Routes to School first started in the United States in the 1990s as projects in a few cities and states. By 2005, Congress approved funding for implementation of Safe Routes to School programs in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. This is the City of Pittsburgh's first Safe Routes to School program, and we're excited. The funding is federally funded, administered through PennDOT in support of schools and sidewalk safety initiatives championed by the City of Pittsburgh's Department of Mobility and Infrastructure. The mission of Safe Route to School Pittsburgh is to increase the number of students walking, biking, and being transported to and from school. We plan to look at through education, encouragement, and safety improvements. Even though most of our students are not in school right now, we still have to think about their physical health, their safety, and we plan to do that through Safe Routes to School. The Safe Routes to School program consists of a framework known as the 6 E's. We look at engagement, encouragement, education, evaluation, engineering, and equity. 4 schools in the City of Pittsburgh have been selected to participate in the Safe Routes to School Champion Schools based on the criteria of need, safety, transportation, infrastructure, and community commitment. These schools are Propel Hazelwood, K-5, Pittsburgh Public Schools, King, K-8 on the north side, Pittsburgh Public Schools Faison here in Homewood, and Pittsburgh Public Schools Arlington in the Arlington area. The Safe Routes to School program will support students and family through remote learning right now with safety activities and social distancing events that can be found on the City of Pittsburgh's website under the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure's program page. All City of Pittsburgh public and charter elementary schools will benefit from the citywide Safe Routes to School initiative. These include a calendar of events that schools may participate in, like Walk Safety Week, Bike to School Day, and Crossing Guard Appreciation Day, all found on the Safe Routes to School webpage. With the City of Pittsburgh Safe Routes to School program, we want to create a healthy communities by providing safe walking, bicycling, and riding routes while educating and encouraging our students. Thank you. We will now hear from the schools participating in the program. First, we have Dr. Chekan, who is the Superintendent of Propel Schools.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tina Chekan. I'm the Superintendent and CEO for Propel Schools. I'd like to take a moment to thank Mayor Peduto, Harriet Jackson, and the entire Safe Routes to School team, and particularly the Propel Hazelwood team. At Propel Schools, safety is always at the forefront of all that we do. We are so grateful and honored to have been selected as one of the 4 champion schools to participate in this exciting Safe Routes to School program for this inaugural year. Approximately 40% of our scholars walk to and from school each and every day. This program not only promotes physical activity, but also builds awareness of how to safely travel to and from school, whether a scholar is walking or on a bicycle. We are excited to share this program with our families as a result of this partnership. The City of Pittsburgh is making an investment to ensure the safety of our children as we begin to transition back to in-person learning in just a few short weeks. This is an investment that will pay dividends for years to come in our Hazelwood community. Again, we thank you and we look forward to participating in the program and all of the events. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chekan. We will now hear from Pittsburgh Public Schools Superintendent, Dr. Anthony Hamlet. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll hear from Pittsburgh Public Schools Board President, Ms. Sylvia Wilson.
I think I wouldn't mind going second or third. All right, I want to thank everyone who are here today to learn more about this initiative. Obviously, how our children get back and forth to school is of utmost concern, not only to those of us who work with the school district, but to parents as well. Homewood obviously is one area where this has been a huge concern of ours on how safely our children arrive to school. And should never be a situation where we worry about that. Unfortunately, the times today are exactly that. We have to make these considerations. I was thinking while I was standing over there how everybody, some of the older people always talked about walking to school 2 miles uphill both ways. It would be nice if we would be able to have our children tell those kinds of stories today. Unfortunately, there's a lot of danger in our neighborhoods, and this SAFE initiative, let's hope, brings everybody together and makes sure that we have safe passage to and from home for all of our children in the city of Pittsburgh, because that is our ultimate goal. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Anthony Hamlet, Superintendent of Pittsburgh Public Schools. So thank you to Mayor Peduto and the Safe Routes to School Coordinator, Harriet Jackson, for this wonderful distinction. I'd like to recognize my boss, as I always do. I know she was just up here, but I'm going to recognize her anyway. Ms. Sylvia Wilson, our Fearless Board President. So thank you for being here, and thank you for your leadership in these trying times. So all 3 Pittsburgh public schools awarded with this inaugural grant are also community schools. The City of Pittsburgh Safe Routes to School Program grant is a sweet mix of community partnerships and safe transportation services to benefit the families of Pittsburgh Arlington, Pittsburgh Faison, and Pittsburgh King. So congratulations to all of the schools in receiving this grant, including their fearless leaders, Principal Nathan Berkowitz, Dr. Russell Patterson, Principal Heidi Tomasco. These schools have already established community resources to offer programs based on each school's community needs. We can now add enhancing safe routes to school to that list. Even while in e-learning, we can continue the conversation about what it looks like for children in Arlington, Homewood, East Hills, and the North Side to travel to and from school safely. Through this national program, we will increase the number of students biking and walking to school and develop their skills as safe users of Pittsburgh streets. These safe routes to school discussions and social distancing events will come in handy when we eventually return to school, and we will return to school eventually. And this is a collaborative effort. In addition to the city, UPMC Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh, Crossing Guards, Bike PGH, and our community partners like Homewood Children's Village and out-of-school time partners such as the Bible Center will have a hand-in program in the implementation of these particular programs. And again, congratulations to our school. Thank you again, Mayor Peduto.
Thank you, Dr. Hamlet. We will now hear from the principals of the Pittsburgh Public Schools. And as we said, Mr. Berkowitz for King, Dr. Patterson of Faison, and Ms. Tomasco of Arlington.
Hello, everyone. I'm Heidi Tomasco, the principal of Pittsburgh Arlington. On behalf of the principals of the receiving schools, we thank you all for this opportunity for our students. We are so happy to be partnering with Ms. Jackson, the mayor, local law enforcement, and we appreciate Superintendent Hamlet's vision and support of our schools. The well-being and safety of our students is of our highest priority, and we are excited to engage in this partnership.
Good afternoon. My name is Nathan Berkowitz. I'm the principal of Pittsburgh King. The principals feel that the 6 elements of education, encouragement, enforcement, engineering, evaluation, and equity are crucial to the development of safe routes to schools for our students. Continuing to strengthen our school and communication with our families and encouraging our students to take a healthy approach by walking and bicycling to school and taking advantage of this beautiful Pittsburgh weather right now. However, we feel the need for safe routes is of the utmost importance, and are grateful for this partnership and resources that the city of Pittsburgh will provide to our students.
That microphone's a little low. Yeah. Good afternoon. So first and foremost, of course, I want to welcome you to Pittsburgh Phase-On, where I am the principal, Dr. Patterson. And we really appreciate you all for this grant. Marion Wright Edelman, the founder of the Children's Defense Fund, once said, if we don't stand up for children, then we don't stand for much. Children across our country have the ability to walk or bike to school. We stand before you because we represent 3 communities respectively where those rights have been stripped away. Our students deserve to be able to walk to school and not have to encounter debris such as broken glass, drug paraphernalia, and litter. They should not have to encounter sidewalks that are so damaged that the students cannot walk on them or they are non-existent. They should not have to encounter drug deals. They should not have to encounter soliciting prostitutes. They should not have to encounter gang activity or turf wars. Some of our communities don't have the 15-mile-per-hour flashing lights that indicate that this is a school zone. Some of our communities don't even have crossing guards to assist the students as they are crossing busy intersections. Therefore, the time is now. We are calling on parents, grandparents, schools, churches, community members, elected officials, community organizations that are represented here today. It is time to take our community back. Our children deserve the right to walk to school safely. Again, I'm going to reiterate the Marion Wright Edelman quote that I started with. If we don't stand for children, then we don't stand for much. Thank you.
And now we will hear from our state representative, Mr. Ed Gainey.
Good afternoon, everybody. First, I'd like to thank everybody who helped put this together. One of the most important thing we can do right now, and because we have this moment in time because of the pandemic, is to be able to ensure that we have a safe, secure route for our children to come to school. That's the most important thing. I believe what a child sees every day exposes them to some things in life that we don't even want them to see nor grow up to be. And if we have and when we have safe routes, we cut off a lot of the negativity that you heard Dr. Patterson talk about, the prostitution. We cut off a lot of the activities, talk about high grass where they can't see. Abandoned houses that we've been trying hard, I know the mayor has, to be trying hard just to be able to board them up so that we have some type of continuity and beautification in the community. This is important because what a child sees, what they're exposed to, that ends up becoming their life story. And a lot of times the negativity from the life story doesn't come from inside the building. The building is positive. Once we get them here, there's nothing but learning and earning. But on the way to school and going home from school, we should want them to have safe routes. Routes that lets them arrive to school on time, safely, with a smile on their face, even if they're biking, all the way to going home and saying, Mama, I had a good day, where Mama and Daddy don't have to think about their kids going back and forth to school. While we have this remote learning right now, we have a beautiful opportunity to ensure that our streets are safe. And when we do that for the kids, it's not just a victory for the kids, it's a victory for the parents, the victory for the school district, and the victory for the neighborhood. So let's just work together to make sure that our streets are safe, and let's continue to grow the minds of our children. Thank you.
We will now hear from Director Karina Ricks from the Department of Infrastructure and Mobility for the City of Pittsburgh.
Great. Thank you, Harriet. I want to just take a moment to, as a parent of 2 public school children, I want to take a moment to appreciate and acknowledge the work of our public schools and these educators. This has been an unprecedented time, and I'll say as a parent, you really have pulled it off, so bravo, thank you. You know, the Safe Routes to School program is more than just getting children safely to the schools. This is about childhood health, giving them active means of transportation so that they can really, feel healthy not only in their minds but in their bodies. Getting here, it's about community building and letting our schools be the centers of community that they are, so that this can be a gathering place, whether you have students or don't have students, that these are really the anchor institutions of our communities. This is about environmental sustainability, so really finding alternative means for people to come to school so that we don't have the levels of congestion, the levels of traffic that we see around our schools, with every parent dropping their students off individually, but really embracing that ability to walk and bike. I really want to thank Harriet. She's done an amazing job. It's not easy launching a Safe Routes to School program when kids aren't at school. So this is really, she's been phenomenal, and she's just an amazing member of our team. And really want to thank all of the partners who came together from Propel schools, from the Pittsburgh Public Schools. I'm looking forward to working with all of you, with our Department of Police, with the many other partners of this program, the parents who are absolutely going to be instrumental in making this a success, and the motorists who we also look forward to partnering with as you adhere to the traffic rules around our streets so that we can protect these most vulnerable travelers that we have. Some of the examples of the improvements that we might be able to expect here are things like what was spoken about, sidewalk and walking path improvements so that we can have safe level spaces for students to come, lighting improvements so that the environment around the school might feel appropriate, traffic calming improvements. I see one of our new speed humps is just behind us, so I'm glad that we're seeing some of those happening here. That we can make accessible routes so that students of all abilities are able to get safely to the schools, and again, really make these schools centers for community. We really want to promote bicycling as that means so that we can have bicycling trains getting our students here, promoting the education of safe riding and walking on our streets, and then looking at ways that we can just manage the neighborhood streets around these communities. So it is an all-inclusive program. We would like to believe that enforcement is the least of the attention that we would lead, but really education, engineering, enrichment, enhancement, so that this is a mode that all of our students will want to use and can use. It's affordable, it's healthy, it's wonderful, it builds community, and it builds minds at the same time. This is a program we'd be remiss if we didn't thank the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, who's one of the principal funding partners by way of the U.S. Federal Highway Administration and U.S. DOT, from which is funding this program. So really grateful to Harriet for all of her wonderful work, grateful for these brave inaugural schools who will start this program with us. This will be an annual program, and we hope that we'll be back and announcing more schools this time next year. But now I have the distinct pleasure of introducing my boss, who I'm so happy to work with, Mayor Peduto.
Thanks, Director. I just want to take care of a couple of housekeeping issues, and then I'll be brief. First off, I got to thank Elaine Alter from our crossing guards and all of our crossing guards. They turn a job into a vocation. They care not only about the children, they care about that area, then they watch over that entire area. And, even during this time, they've been vigilant, and I can't thank them enough for the work that they provide to the city of Pittsburgh. So many times I get visitors that come from outside the city that were like, who are those police officers that aren't police officers? I'm like, crossing guards. And they're like, you mean like school crossing guards? I'm like, yeah. They're like, they find it to be very cool. So please thank the officers as well. Secondly, I guess everybody else forgot, we're celebrating a birthday today. Dr. Hamlet? We owe him a little song, guys. I'm not Marilyn Monroe, so somebody else is going to have to take the lead on this one, but happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Dr. Hamlet. Happy birthday to you. How many cities does the mayor sing to the superintendent?
got that on video.
I think it's 3 TV stations. Listen, I just want to thank everyone that's here. You know, last year we gathered down in Lawrenceville and we asked the people of Pittsburgh to sign a pledge promising that they would do the responsible thing when they were in a school zone and to slow down, to pay attention, and to drive safely. That pledge now leads to this, which is the physical investment to make that happen, but at the same time concentrate on the students themselves to give them that opportunity and that pathway. And the parents, the peace of mind to know that we are doing everything by working together in order to keep them safe. I've told Dr. Hamlet before, you know, when they're in the school, you're yours. When they're out, they're mine. And I think we share them on the way to and on the way out. And we want to be able to show how Pittsburgh Public Schools, Propel Schools, the city of Pittsburgh, our crossing guards, and nonprofits throughout this city can work to assure that every school gets to this level. Thank you, Director Ricks, for having that vision of how safety means more than just vehicles on the road. And there's nothing more important than our kids.
Thank you, Mayor Peduto. And now that it concludes our press conference for today. Thank you.